What's up, guys? History Homie here, and welcome to Homie Talk, where today we're going to be talking about an issue related to diversity in the classroom. Today on Homie Talk, we're going to be talking about building meaningful relationships with students, and this could be from students for all different backgrounds. It's just how to make that student connect better and feel welcomed into your classroom. The first thing to building meaningful relationships in the classroom is showing representation in the classroom, something that students can get reminded of themselves or something that they can connect to. Think about if a student is like they see a little bit of themselves in George Washington, or another student sees a little bit of themselves in Martin Luther King Jr. Something simple like that that students can connect to. Um, just little things throughout history, and I think that what social studies teachers should do better about is making sure that they're talking about diverse groups and like what they did great in history. That's something that students can really, go home about. Be like, God, like to their mom and be like, guys, listen to like these great things that people of my background have done, and something that they can hold on to, and something that could even be like a mentor moment to them. And I think that'd be really cool to incorporate into a classroom. To build off some more about representation, an article from Northeastern U, that is Northeastern University, something that a student there talked about representation into schools is to seek out community voices. Someone who could be more familiar to like a student and their background and their culture to come to schools and talk about either things in their traditions and their communities that they have outside of school, and maybe that can educate schools or other students at the school. But it's a way for students to see the representation of their community being integrated to schools, and I think that'd be something really cool, especially to do in a social studies classroom, is to explore all these different cultures and all these different backgrounds of all the students that you have in your class. It's also a way for the teacher to learn more about different cultures and different um, places outside of your your little cul-de-sac, your little area that you're usually in. It's a way to expand your horizons. Another way to build meaningful relationships in the classroom and also get to representation is through cross-content learning. This is when you take a subject like social studies and combine it with another subject like art, language arts, math, science, etc. And I think that social studies is probably the one of the best subjects you can do cross-content with. Thinking about getting art from another culture, another like either like an ancient civilization or something like that. You can combine the art that they have, and you can bring that together maybe with art we have, see like the parallels or see like what might be different within. I think that'd be really cool to do with students is to explore different types of art throughout history, or even arts that we have now, but they come from different places. This art is from somewhere in South America. This art is from somewhere in Australia. Something that's be cool that students who are from those places in your classroom can be like, oh hey, I know what that is. That's from my hometown or from my home city or whatever. I think that'd be something really cool to do with students, and I think for this can go for like any subject, like with like readings and writings. You do a lot of that in social studies. You do a lot of like different type of readings from all over the world, different type of primary sources. I think you could do that in a modern sense as well. In social studies, you can look at um, if language barrier could be things. So maybe like a translation of something that was written in a country over in Africa or over in somewhere in Asia or something. Anywhere, these students can say like, "Oh, this is what a reading is like there. This is kind of like how it is." Or a student who's from that place can be like, "Oh, hey, I have a reading that maybe I was familiar with already that I can show my friends." And I think that's something really cool to bring into the classroom. My last point on bringing building meaningful relationships in the classroom through representation is to talk about, especially in a government class, representation in government. I think it's cool for students to see that someone from someone from my background, someone from maybe kind of where my life has been, they rose up to a power in government, and so students can connect to a story like that. I was reading an article by Bill Kahn who talked about this kid who uh, felt represented in government when Obama became president. And that's something really cool to see that kids can be like, oh, someone like me can become president. And I think that's really cool for students to realize that there is no barriers to what someone wants to be, and I think that's something that students can really take with them, that they can really be anything if they really, really wanted to try to do that. We continue talking about building relationships with students, like meaningful ones that can go through any background. Is I want students to feel like comfortable um, talking to their teacher. Just they can come to them with anything if they really, really need to. I want students to be able to, share either personal stories of their background or just any knowledge that they have, anything that they learn about history and other topics. I want students to make sure that they're feeling heard, um, that their knowledge, their either the personal stuff or their school stuff that's being heard by a teacher. I want a student to feel that they could trust their teacher, that they could um, come to work or they can go to school and know that there's someone out there that gets their back. As I personally think that, I mean, I've not been a teacher yet, but I'm going into it, going to try my hardest to make sure all my students know that I care about every single one of them. Because I'm going to feel that way. That's just how I am. I want students to know that it doesn't matter like what they do to me. I am still going to care and try to give my 100% to every single one of them if I can. And I know we're told that that doesn't always happen, but that's something that I want students to realize, that I'm trying so that they can have someone to come to. And yeah, that's what we want to talk about here in Homie Talk today. Just building those meaningful relationships with students. Hopefully, the knowledge that we've gained throughout this course has helped us to know how to get there and the best that we could do. History Homie out.